Okay, guys, welcome to a brand new episode of WrestleSlam. I'm joined with a team of Elizabeth, Ger, Phil, Matt, and Tim. It's another big show. Finally, we get to talk about WrestleMania because it's pretty much only days away now, really. The card is shaping up nicely. First of all, though, I do have to mention that Kane has been inducted to the Hall of Fame. And then the great Khali was inducted. So the Khali team was kind of first. Now, Tim was ecstatic about the great Khali being inducted. I know he loves the great Khali. Tim, I'm going to go to you. Great news for Kane and great news for the great Khali. What's your take on it?
Yeah, well, Kane is well deserving, of course, like the amount of stuff he's done in the business. I thought he mightn't go into the same time as The Undertaker. I thought they might wait till next year and put the two of them in the same night, because The Undertaker surely is going in Dallas. But I watched the video of The Undertaker telling them, and it was great to see. We all understand why the great Khali is going in. It's to get the Indian fans, because there's a bigger fan base in India watching WWE than there is in America.
Yeah.
So, they want the Indians all to watch WrestleMania, so they're all going to tune in to see what Khali has to say at his Hall of Fame speech, and he's going to boost it up. That's after getting more views on WWE India than the Kane announcement, which is crazy as it is. But Kane deserving. Khali, he did do a lot for an Indian wrestler. He has been a multi-time world champion. He's beaten some of the biggest guys, so he's deserving in their standpoint. But great, the Hall of Fame is shaping up good.
Definitely. Elizabeth, Ger, what's your take? Obviously, Kane, the great Khali. Obviously, we have all the inductees from last year as well. Batista's obviously stepped away. That's his own decision, but he cleared things up that he will be inducted at a later time. But do you think it's a great call with the Khali and Kane being put in?
For sure. Aside from the Indian audience that Khali brings in, he's super over there and understandably. But I think he should be in there alone for Punjabi prison matches. Sorry now, Tim, but he should, And I think that Kane, absolutely, God, what has the man not done? And he should be in there alone for Money in the Bank 2010, when he won. So I think for that alone, just for that quick 1 minute match, he should have been in there. But yeah, I think they're good calls, aren't they?
Yeah, good call for Kane. I'm sad that he's not getting in front of the live audience. So I thought they might, like Tim said, give him a bigger event to do a speech. But could have went on a long time. Khali, he's a big man. So there's not many big men who can work, like the way people work these days anyway. So. He did what he did. He did what he needed to do. He was a monster when he first came in, and he ran his course. And he was a comedy act for a while. He did the kiss cam with Natalia, wasn't it? That was pretty fun. So
it's epic. It's we're seeing, obviously, Kane is no surprise, and obviously we've seen the reaction. He was really upset, he is. I think he brought a tear to one of our eyes, but it's when the whole debate team will always happen on Twitter, lads. We're always going to see, why isn't Lex Luger in the Hall of Fame, and then you have the great Khali, and there's always kind of theories and stuff. Phil, you're blatantly honest with all your predictions, and do you think it's a great call in the sense, obviously Kane, we agree 100%. Now, Khali, I agree. I think he's unique, and you know what I mean. And when Khali did come, we all, look at the size of this guy. He's a world champion and stuff. But do you think? Maybe they should when you look at the likes of Lex Luger and we've seen it took so long to see China being inducted and stuff. Do you think sometimes they can get it wrong?
Yeah. With Lex, I think it's all about timing. Because he's not well at all at the moment.
That's what someone said on Twitter. Lex, apparently, obviously he's got his health struggles, you know what I mean? And even with Vader, obviously they could have inducted Vader at a time where...
You met him and he was wheelchair bound.
Yeah, I remember, yeah. I was really upset meeting him. Yeah, nice guy.
I'm assuming it's going to be very hard for him to get one side to the other side of America.
Yeah.
All his struggles. But, I know he's at WrestleCon this year, I believe.
Yeah.
He is,
yeah.
But to Kane very much deserved. Going back to Kane, he very much deserved it. 100%. And the great Khali, as much as people criticize him and stuff, he kind of, when we first saw him, he was like, whoa, this guy's huge. And then his match with Taker was kind of underwhelming, and people kind of turned on him straight away. But I'm convinced that he was not injured in that match as well. They just removed him because he was so bad.
Yeah. it's tough to tell, like, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, I went on Twitter, obviously everyone was, you know, ecstatic about Kane. Everyone was ecstatic about Great Khali, but it's just, you obviously the people in the hardcore fans, like, what about Lex Luger? You know, you inducted Vader quite late, you know. Why did it take so long to get the Bulldog into it? Like, Matt, what's your take on the whole thing? Obviously, you know, deservedly to see Kane and the Great Khali in it, but, you know, do you think sometimes they might drop the ball?
Drop the ball when it comes to... I don't think so, really. I mean, like, I haven't not yet once been disappointed with one inductee with any Hall of Famer, because even if they do have a bad rap with themselves, like what Philly said with the Great Khali, because some people think that the Great Khali was so bad, he's still deserving to get into the Hall of Fame, because I still remember when I first saw his debut, because we saw big wrestlers before, but when I saw him, I actually thought, Jesus, this fella is massive. He can take anyone down. So I don't think WWE can easily drop the ball. I know I sound like I'm defending, but like, when it comes to like any type of celebrity that has a good relationship with WWE, any type of wrestler as well that really, you know, bust their asses off even for a brief time, I don't think WWE would drop the ball with anyone going into Hall of Fame, since the Hall of Fame is prestigious. But going back to Kane, I absolutely, I wouldn't say weeped, but I did feel like a good few tears rolling when I saw the video of Undertaker telling Kane that he's in the Hall of Fame, because I personally would say that this is a long time coming for him, because he's been in WWE for as long as I could when I first started watching WWE personally. So I'm delighted to see Kane being part of it, because I have so many favorite moments of Kane. But definitely
it's weird though to think that character was designed for a 6-month run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Kane is not the first Kane either. It was Kane the Undertaker, and the Undertaker's debut.
Yeah.
Not fake Diesel.
Like CAIN as well at one point.
Yeah.
He came a long way from the evil dentist. Let's be fair. Now I'm that
He's
fella.
the Yankum.
Oh.
he has done really well though. Like even the fake Diesel, like, you know what I mean. When you had the fake Razor Ramon and the fake Diesel, like it was just the whole shave and the head business then as well. Like, you know, when that storyline came, when he had to shave the head, he's like, I have to go and pick up my kids. You know what I mean? It's he's iconic. You know, to me, Kane is definitely he's definitely legendary. You know, I've been lucky enough to see him wrestle, and he's iconic. You know what I mean? He stands out to me as one of the greatest ever. Like,
For a big man, he's.
But yeah, great in ring performer too. Like, you know, he was really good in the ring.
And the comedic stuff with Daniel Bryan, which is genius.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, but
it's not easy for them to get across when you're known for being Kane. To have any kind of comedic presence at all is difficult, and I think he nailed it.
Yeah. Even the time with X-Pac, remember he used to use the thing up to the neck. So you know what I mean, they were really, you know what I mean, as a young teenager, like, you know what I mean, they're kind of iconic moments. So leading up to WrestleMania, guys, we have some incredible matches. Now I'm not going to lie, but this card is actually taken to shape nicely, in my opinion. Now, WrestleMania, it's back in business, April 10th, April the 11th. Now, I'm going to go straight to this match. Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, Edge. Now, you all could have predicted this, lads. We all could have predicted it was going to happen. This seems to be the match, unless something changes in between. I don't know, but I don't think it will. Obviously, Bryan's been at it. Ger and Elizabeth, is that a good move? Great call.
We'll fight over this now. I do know. And I counter argue.
Get the popcorn.
Yeah, let's get it. Here comes the cheese. So come here. Any match that has Daniel Bryan in it, it's going to be fab. You know, it's going to be a great match. Don't get me wrong. But I trust my gut with my life, and from the word go, I was like, no. And when I saw Edge do his promo last night in Smackdown, I was like, yes, come on, heel Edge, because Edge is a heel. And that's it. You know, he's best as he is as a heel. But I'm glad, because there's been a very, very mixed reaction to this on social media. I don't think it's had as much of a huge Daniel Bryan, you know, underdog theme as they thought it would have. It's very, very mixed mixed online. So I know this off, but I was kind of happy as well because I was like, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. And I just don't think it's getting the payoff that they thought. So I'm glad that they brought that into Edge's promo last night because I think it needed to be addressed that it was like, I was in the Royal Rumble, I was number one, I beat everybody else, I earned my chance, and then Daniel Bryan just like, loses twice, and then there you go. So yeah, I would have been happy with Edge and Roman Reigns, but I will be equally as happy to watch the triple.
Yeah, it's like it's interesting. Like a lot of theories going around, Elizabeth and Ger, that Bryan's going to retire. No, he's come back, and to me, it only seems like he's only back a small while, but he's actually been back quite a while. So, George, you reckon it's the case he's going to bow out, or is it just rumours and rumours?
It's possible. I'd say maybe another year. He may get another WrestleMania out of him. If the Bellas are supposed to come back at the end of the year, like he might go away and let them go at it for a while and then come back next year for WrestleMania. But he wants to retire. He doesn't want to, be old and still wrestling. And his injuries aren't going to allow him to do that either.
Yeah.
But I think it's only fitting, like if it is going to be his last WrestleMania, that he does deserve to be in a big match because they didn't have anything for him up until Vince threw everything out of the pram and decided to change the card, because he wasn't the plan at all up until a couple of weeks ago. If he was, he probably would have won the Royal Rumble otherwise.
Yeah. It's like, to me, a triple threat match is always exciting because, as you say, Bryan can pin Edge.
Yeah.
And then Roman is like,
Well, there's no DQ, so there's nothing stopping people getting involved either. Obviously, maybe both the Usos might be there this time. Jimmy might be back.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's good for the eye. Tim, I can see you nodding your head as always, my man, and I love it. What's your take on the whole thing? Obviously, look, you're a hardcore fan like us all. Bryan's been added. Obviously, Reigns, Edge is kind of turned heel, which is pretty cool. It's a big match. A lot can happen. Now, the rumor is, Bryan's going to retire, or does he win the belt? What's your take on the whole thing?
Bryan's contract's up in September, and he said he's not signing a new one, so I think he's gone. I also think he was added to the match to take the pin, because Roman Reigns isn't dropping this belt till next year's WrestleMania. Well, he'll have it at next year's WrestleMania, I think, because they're going to go all out. The Rock has supposedly freed up his schedule to wrestle at next year's Mania. 105,000 people in Texas. What a match to have. They can't. Roman Reigns cannot lose the title coming up to next year's WrestleMania if they plan on him having the main event against The Rock. Edge also can't lose, because if Edge loses at WrestleMania, that's all his momentum gone. Like, there was all these rumours online saying, the reason they're adding Daniel Bryan is because Edge looks old. What a load of horseshit.
He looks great. Yeah.
Edge looks old. Look at Ciampa. Ciampa looks about 15. He's only 2 years older than me.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so somebody can take the pinfall. He'll probably take it in a screwy fashion. They're not going to bury him in the match because he'll be very good in the match. I'm enjoying the storyline. As you say, the Usos could be involved. There's no DQ and it's a triple threat. So that's what's going to happen. He's going to take the pinfall. It's going to be Roman Reigns is going to win. They cannot take the belt off Reigns. We know Mania, because I think they're going to do the year in the making again. I think it's going to be the Tribal Chief versus the Great One next year at WrestleMania.
And also, I think they're trying to go to beat CM Punk records as well. They want that. They want that record beat.
Yeah.
Reigns deserves it. He's the best. He's the best on the roster at the moment. You tune in to watch Roman Reigns on a Friday night.
Yeah. Phil, what's your take? Obviously, look, you've been watching it clearly as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, Vince has shown, the bottle out of the pram, but, what do you reckon?
Tim's spot on what he said. Clearly he was added to take the pit. I reckon we might actually see Edge and Reigns one-on-one down the line. Maybe SummerSlam, perhaps, but he's right. They're just added him to take the pinfall. There's nothing else. There's no other way around it. Plus, I think they wanted this big match because it's kind of been an underwhelming build.
Yeah.
Across the board.
I suppose that comes down to the fact as well, Vince didn't really know what was going to happen with crowds being back and, the whole thing being up in the air. But as we know, there's going to be fans there, which is a blessing. And that obviously builds towards next year when all of our beautiful faces will be there next year.
I think he's afraid also the fans will cheer Roman Reigns over Edge. That's why he turned Edge heel.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
if I was there, I'd be cheering on Roman Reigns, something I thought I'd never say in my entire life.
Yeah.
After taking so long to get us to cheer Roman Reigns.
They'd get us to cheer him by turning them heel.
I think
There you go.
Every time.
Well, it took a couple of years, but we got there.
you know what? I think heel Roman Reigns head the table is the heel John Cena we never got, to be fair.
Preach. There you go.
Yeah. Like, Matt, obviously you're a big Bryan fan. We adore the picture of you and Bryan. So adorable in your younger days, even though you're only a baba still. But what's your take? Obviously, look, Tim, Ger Elizabeth, and Phil have great points as well. It's looking like, he might take the pin. Do you reckon Bryan could probably come out as a winner, or do you reckon Reigns will hold that belt for another 12 months?
Well, with that photo of me and Dan Bryan, I still held the awkwardness since then, as I was 17 years old. But let's move on. Yeah, we were saying, like, in the last few podcasts, we would like to see a triple threat match with Daniel Bryan and Edge versus Roman Reigns. I feel like now it's actually happening. I kind of didn't know how to feel about it at first, because I would think, having Daniel Bryan versus Edge, because I think I would like to see a rivalry with the two of them, because, they both had to retire at an early age, and then they both came back, and they both became world champion in underdog way. I think I would like to see them going at it with a good story arc like that. But now with Roman Reigns in the picture, I think Tim does have a good few points why they added Dan Bryan at the very last minute for him to take the pin. Or they say Edge looks old, which I'm the same. I disagree. Edge doesn't look old. He has so much momentum going to this match, and adding an extra momentum with Dan Bryan can work, but it can be here and there. Maybe Dan Bryan will be there to take the fall.
Yeah.
But I'm actually going to have to go with Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns' character is probably one of the best things happening in wrestling right now as a character. So I can see probably Roman Reigns taking about 30 or 20% of the match, and he's going to try and make Edge and Dan Bryan look good leading up to the next few pay-per-views. Because like Phil says, I could see Roman holding on to the title for at least a whole year, beating CM Punk's record.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like my random spiel about the whole thing was I don't know how to feel about Dan Bryan in the triple threat match, but I'm happy to see him getting a shot, and with Edge as well. I absolutely love Edge turning a heel, because I don't think we've seen, heel Edge as a cocky, know-it-all, like, rated R superstar, but seeing him as like a psycho, like, heel, I think it's kind of brilliant, because he kind of works with any character given. So that's what I like about it. But that's my random spiel. I am pulling for Roman Reigns, even though I love Dan Bryan and Edge. So that's me.
I love it. No, there's so many great matches being announced on the card. Obviously, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. We will come to that, but I suppose it's like, obviously Bianca Belair and Sasha is another huge match. But I'm going to go to Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre, lads. Now, we knew Drew became champion last WrestleMania. There was no crowd there, it is disheartening, you know what I mean? But Drew done extremely well to carry that belt through a tough period in WWE. Now, we are watching a lot of stuff happening these last couple of weeks. Now, I did personally reckon myself that Sheamus might have joined that match in a triple threat. Now, it's looking likely it's not going to happen, and that Sheamus might fight Riddle at WrestleMania, which I don't agree with, because obviously I am a big Sheamus fan. But look, the almighty battle, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Ger Elizabeth, do you reckon that match will stay the way it is, or do you reckon Sheamus could be added, or what's your take on the whole thing and the outcome of that match?
No, they're not going to have another triple threat match for the title anyway. Not for another world title.
Yeah.
They don't. I'm okay with Sheamus and Riddle. It's not going to be a big match for him, but he's been awesome for the last few months. Sheamus has, and he does deserve a bigger match than just being thrown onto a battle royal, some crap match or some random tag team in a title match, whether he wins it or not. I think him and Riddle will have a good match. They had a good match in Smackdown last year. It was a great match they had. So I'm all for Sheamus getting a big match at WrestleMania, regardless of what it is. He might shut Riddle up as well. He might turn Riddle into something better than being a backstage goof.
Yeah, that's true. Elizabeth, what's your take on the whole thing?
Yeah, I'm on point with what Jerry's saying. For Sheamus, sure, I think he deserves something a little bit bigger, and I'm really, really worried that he's going to be pushed to like kick off. And I also kind of have that fear for Sheamus. So he's kind of, if they push for that, great, at least he gets something. Otherwise, he's in complete limbo, and we're like 2 weeks out. So it's a bit late in the day. With regards to Lashley and Drew, I'm worried. I was worried when I saw the segment about Bobby going to the locker room of, the 24/7 crew. I don't know what else to call them, but, that's who was there. I was worried when he went to their locker room to, who wants to take, Drew out and, you will get a chance at my title. I'm really, really worried that they're going to go a bit gimmicky with Bobby, and then, he'll get someone to batter off Drew, and then Drew prevails at Mania, and I'm just like, it's fine, but I'm just like, I just want Bobby Lashley as my champion. So
yeah,
I'm a little worried.
Do you think that Bobby could possibly lose the belt this fast? Obviously he became champion. We're waiting so long, right? We've seen that segment backstage, right? Now, I'm not going to go into detail because I'm not one to do that, but a lot of people were criticizing Bobby's mic skills in the locker room that, he came across really kind of gimmicky, as you said. Do you think it's the case he could actually lose his belt at WrestleMania already? And Timmy's nodding his head. So, is it the case it could happen?
The Hurt business are finished. Like, they're done. The minute they lost the tag belts, that group's finished. They're done.
Why did he need to go into the locker room and get them? Why didn't he get the Hurt business to take out Drew?
Exactly.
Isn't that what your stable does?
He beat them in a tag match.
Yeah,
match. He beat them already at that stage.
Yeah, but why does he need to talk? Why doesn't he just have MVP talking for him? He shouldn't open his mouth.
For sure.
Listener.
Yeah, 100%. MVP should have been in that locker room. Bobby should have been nowhere near. He's coming out as this huge character full of all sorts of charisma, suits the whole style, the swag, everything. And then he's gone in shouting in his tights in the locker room. And I was like, what?
They've done the same thing with Karrion Kross recently. He shouldn't be nowhere near the microphone.
Yeah. These big guys have somebody to talk from. Why do they have somebody? It's disgusting. Like, they're going to take the title off him already, and I heard it's going to be the opening match of WrestleMania.
Yes, this is what makes us show. This is what makes us. We're all talking about this, right? So clearly the Hurt business, right? I'm not going to lie. I've absolutely loved them.
Yeah.
Why are they being crushed? Why are they being crushed right now? Why? Who? Like, Vince and the writers are obviously saying, right, look, they lose the belts. Like, where does Shelton go from here? Like, where does MVP go from here? It's so wrong.
Don't even say main event. Totally, it's like the biggest mood swing somebody's after having, and it's such a shame that they are a casualty of it, because them as a faction are money, and considering other promotions that shall remain nameless that are built fairly much solely on factions, when we've got one that's really, really good where it is, with the talent that's in it and their presence, I don't know. I think somebody's lost the fucking plot, to be honest with you. It doesn't make sense at all. No idea.
Stupid, but because you did see, or we seen the Hurt business when they kind of gelled together. They do you know what I mean? They brought in people, and then we see them kind of, with the suits. They come out. They look like a no bullshit. You know what I mean? Faction. Like, they just look so good. Now, Bobby became champion. We're all happy. And then, like, boom. We're getting all these rumors that, you know what I mean, Bobby can lose the belt. Like,
I heard it's
supposed to be a dominant
match
champion.
WrestleMania.
But he's supposed to be dominant, lads. Absolutely dominant.
Yeah.
So what's going on? Like, it's Matt,
John Laurinaitis is the head writer again, and he doesn't have a notion.
I just can't make it. Like, Matt, what's your take on it? Because it's absolute bullshit, in my opinion.
No, it is bullshit. Like I remember when because if you think of Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley when they first came back to WWE, they were like in shite storylines. They were like in so and so matches, and then MVP came along, saw this stable, and at first I kind of thought, oh, they're the Hurt business. They're just there, but then suddenly they become tag team champions. Bobby Lashley becomes WWE champion. So then they went from a certain stable to a stable that means business, literally, like one of the best things in WWE. And like you just said, just one night they lost the tag team champions, and Bobby Lashley just like saying to everyone, like, "Oh, go get Drew," like killing his momentum. And I'm not gonna lie, but I just want to go into the WWE writers' room and just say, lads, what the fuck are you doing with these lads? Do you know what you're doing? Like if Bobby Lashley keeps the title after WrestleMania, great. This will look still good for the Hurt Business. Another chance for them not to mess up, but don't let Bobby speak. Maybe let MVP speak. But again, I'm with all of you. I don't know what they're doing at the moment. I think we can all solely blame one fella in John Laurinaitis, but I'm done with that one. But
yeah, but it's like I love Drew McIntyre. I absolutely adore him, and it's not his fault. But like when Bobby dismantled the Miz, and then obviously we're like, fucking hell, Bobby's not going to be touched for another 12 months, and then boom, something just happens backstage. People are moved around again, and then. We're going to point to John because John is probably responsible for this. But you know what I mean? When people start saying, "Oh, Lashley's going to lose the title at Mania," you're like, "What the God and name is going on?" Like, you know what I mean?
I can tell you right now that in about maybe 3-4 weeks after Mania, there's going to be a draft and Lashley's gone to the other show.
Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't make it out.
I guarantee you. Because Roman Reigns has nobody else to fight, so he's going to have to move to Raw.
It's bollocks. It's bollocks. And I'm glad we had a heated debate about that there because it's absolute bollocks. We're going to, obviously we're going to go, we're not going to get all the matches in today, but look, we're going to go to Bianca Belair, lads, and Sasha Banks. Hopefully there's no politics in this whatsoever. Two amazing female athletes are going to wrestle. It's going to be a good match in my opinion. We've seen Bianca Belair rise. You know what I mean? She's getting her Mania moments. Elizabeth, what you reckon? Is Bianca going to be champ or will Sasha just hold on?
I really, really would love to see Bianca take it. I really would. She's like, it's not so much, she's not even an underdog story. Do you know what I mean? There's swag in her shit. Like, she walks the walk and she talks the talk. She is gifted and she has money written all over her. She's just star quality through and through. So Sasha, don't get me wrong, but my concern is that something will happen. Sasha, if I see Reginald, so helping me God, he'll be around stroke too, because that fucker, if I see him anywhere near that title picture. So anyway, right, we'll see what happens. Sasha's great too, don't get me wrong. But I'm worried that something's going to happen and then they're going to try and carry this feud on after Mania and like drag the arse out of it. And then it's just going to fizzle out. And Bianca's I'd be feared that she'd lose all her momentum because she is it. She has everything. Stop writing her promos for her. She can do it herself because we've gone from interviewing her straight after a match where, God bless us, she's after wrestling a rumble and she could barely breathe. We went to that from, girl, that's her. So, you know what I mean? So you can tell the change. So, like, leave her alone and leave her do her own thing. She is well able. So I'm rooting for Bianca Belair as long as Reggie stays at Nia's and doesn't come in and fuck it all up. So, yeah, I'm rooting for Bianca.
That's why we have a girl in WrestleSlam. She says it how it is. No holding back. Ger. I can see Ger's face. Ger's afraid. He's afraid.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't walk with the limb for no reason. Like.
I absolutely love it.
Oh, my God.
Love it. Love it. Now, Phil, what's your take? Obviously, look, we've seen so much over the years. We're finally seeing, ladies getting the big kind of matches at WrestleMania. Will Banks hold the belt or will Bianca Belair become?
Bianca will win because there's no way out if Sasha wins. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
And plus, you need to make Bianca at this WrestleMania.
Yep.
Like if she's not made it this year, then she's not going to go anywhere.
I love it.
Like if she doesn't win at this time.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking Charlotte might be added to the match, but no, I think that's going the Raw way. I think that's going to be on the Raw side.
Charlotte's not coming back before Mania.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about. It's this whole Charlotte team's crazy as well, but we'll have to use that for next week. Tim, what you reckon?
Bianca has to win. I'm sick to death of Sasha. She needs to fuck off and take a break.
Yeah.
Basically.
He's right. Like he's so overexposed. It's not even.
Did anyone watch her Broken Skull sessions? It was the most scripted rubbish I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
She has no interest in this business at all.
Love it.
It's all about the money. And I don't mind somebody all about the money, but when she went on and tried to be fake on that show, it turned me off her instantly, and I have no time. I hope she loses. I hope that it's not the main event of night one. I hope that it's not the main event.
She has more scripts in WWE than she did when she was on the episode of The Mandalorian. Yeah.
For fuck's sake, I've had more lines and shows than she had. I can't stand her.
This is why you're the Jim Cornette of WrestleSlam, lad.
This is definitely our best show, yeah. This is definitely our best show, yeah. Look, we're going to have to try and do a longer episode next week, lads, definitely, because this has been brilliant. Now, I have to go to something quickly. We got an email from a good friend, Michael, right? Now, there's been, obviously, we've seen so many celebrities over the years at WrestleMania. Now, I've got a list of 10 names, okay? For WrestleMania appearances, whether it's entertainers or, actual matches. I've got Ozzy Osbourne, Pamela Anderson, Burt Reynolds, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. T, Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, Nicole from the Pussycat Dolls, Kim Kardashian, and Ron DMC. Now, Ger Elizabeth, any of them 10 names that stand out to you as a moment with WrestleMania? I can't remember Ozzy Osbourne, to be fair, but I remember vaguely he was doing something. Obviously, Pamela Anderson, Burt Reynolds, Ernie. Any of them 10 people stand out for you as, great WrestleMania entertainers?
Mr. T has to be Mr. T.
Yeah. I love my mama.
He's had 200%. He's had 2 WrestleMania matches. He was in the main event of the first one, and he had the boxing match with Roddy Piper. So, he's been around. He's still involved somewhere. Like, he comes and goes. He's always mentioned. Like, nobody brings up other people, other celebrities, as much as they bring him up.
Yeah, Elizabeth, what you think? Them 10 names?
I suppose Mr. T as well, just for the length of his Hall of Fame speech more than anything. That was just phenomenal. Like, and we think we all like his mum now, definitely. And to be honest, the others don't mean a huge amount. The girls, right, okay. Nothing's jumping. I'm going to go with Mr. T. Other ones, to be honest, as you said, Ozzy, don't recall it. Nicole Scherzinger, don't recall it. Soz, I'll go with Mr. T for sure.
Love it. Lads, 1 minute left. Phil, quick name.
Kim Kardashian.
Tim?
Hi, Phil.
Mike Tyson.
Wondering.
Mike Tyson has to be Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's it.
Well, lads, we'll have to extend the show next week. It's been crazy, but the demand will be there. We'll try to do a double show next week or something. There's a lot more time. A lot of us have holidays booked in around WrestleMania week. A huge thank you to everyone that's tuning in, guys. Elizabeth, Ger, Phil, Matt, and Tim, absolute legends. We'll catch you soon. Lads, enjoy the show Sunday, and we will be back next week. Appreciate it.
Thanks, lads.